Welcome to Advanced Programming Practice for Everybody using Python. Today we are going to discuss about GUI and event handling programming paradigm by using Tkinter. So event diagram, like event-driven programming by using GUI, like event diagram by using a Python programming is important part in programming for designing an application in a various web application or whatever when you are designing for the like DBMS SQL servers with connections and MySQLs, and you are designing an application, and when you are fetching the data from somewhere else, and all those purposes we are going with this GUI event-driven programming. For example, the user actions like such as mouse clicks and the key press or message from an operating system or some other another programs. For all the purpose, we have to use this event-driven programming by using GUI. The event-driven application is designed to detect like event as they occur and which deals by using the approaches and the procedures. And typical modern like it's an event-driven program. There is no like flow of control. That main routine is for loop which waits for the event to occur and it will improve like event handling the routine. Here the callback, the event callback is a function that is invoked when something significant happen, like when click event is performed by the user or the result of a database query is available. So event handler is a type of functions or method that run a specific actions when a specific event is triggered. For example, it could be a button like that when a user clicks it, or it will display the message, or it will close the message when the user clicks the button again. It is that event-driven handler. And trigger function is like a trigger event-driven programming paradigm or functions that decides what code or to be run when the specific event or occur, which was used by the specific event handling with the specific event has occurred. The event is like including the mouse or keyboard and user interfaces, which even need to be triggered in a program in order to happen. That means that a user has to interact with an object in a program. For example, the button, mouse, all those things. That is the event. Something which are going to disturb the systems, which is called as an event to be occurred in a program. Likewise, whatever when you are running a simple or big program, when you are affecting that by using somewhat event by using mouse click or key press or something, then it is event occurred and it is an event-driven program. So graphical user interface allows the user to interact with the operating system, and this is for popularized for the mouse, and even graphical element will click the mouse button to activate them. And it is programs or event driven and things to be happen like event driven. It looks like this when you're creating environment by Tkinter, it's by using a TK, and it's like a label, and it's a like box to be text box to be entered some text, and this is the button to calculate the calculate area. And this is about like introduction part with the graphical structure, whether the event is happened or not. If it is no, then run the event handler. If it is yes, then there is an event handler that occurred. Then finally it will close the event. And this is by using GUI. We can use a Tkinter to develop an application or something, whatever which is required for the program. And by using via WX Python, like it's an open source Python interface for that Windows. And this is PyQt. It's also it's a class cross platform for the GUI library, and JPython is also can be used for the Java library files. This Tkinter program. So Tkinter programs looks like this. It's a very simple program. It's like this is the steps we need to be followed for creating a GUI application. We need to first import the Tkinter module. It should be imported like import Tkinter as TK, and this is a variable name. We can change as the user required. Like either we can keep it like a Tkinter, or a method name should be like we can shorten that and keep it like as a very like TK, and create the GUI application in a main window. Like we are calling this method import Tkinter by using this TK. So here we are creating a root as a variable. Then we are calling that method by tk.tk function, and add one or more to the above widgets. When you are this is one of the widget. Like we will see what are the widgets are available by using this Tkinter. It's a button, and here we are going to add one button as a stop. Okay, So this button is available inside the method called as a Tkinter. So we have to call this Tkinter. This is a Tkinter. Then by using this call button as a button, and inside that Tkinter method, we are calling the button method. And then it all in the root method. So this is the root. So we are calling that root as a function. Those it will run in a function in a main loop. And then text here, creating the text button as a stop, and widget size is 25. Its widget size is 25. And command is like when you are clicking this stop button, selecting the stop button, it will destroy this. The whole window will close instead of this close, pressing this close button. When you're stopping this button, will close the whole button. That we call it as like destroy, like root dot destroy. Then we are running that main loop until this it will stop the main function. It will run, so it will keep on running. So this is a simple main program like Tkinter basic program. And these are the widgets you are using inside the Tkinter. And label, it's a text or images which can be used inside the label functions. And this is a button. Just before we also the button functions, and this is the canvas button to provide the shapes and drawing the shapes or something like lines, ovals, polygons, rectangles. And we can use the radio button and check button. All the the purpose of radio button and check button in various places we are using in nowadays, like when you are using in a browser or something else in the internet. We are like for selecting something else, we are check by using the check button. Or if you are going for multiple selection, then we can go for check button. If you are going like gender selections like male or female, then we can use this radio button. And then entry box, like entry button, like entry itself, one of the label which is used to enter the text frame in that entry one. And frame, it's a pure container for the widgets, other widgets. We need to follow the frame and list box and menu button. And so we know the menu button which is listed in the top of that screen for every application. And then message to be displayed, that is a message box. And scale, text scale, or like a scroll bar and top level, all these are the widgets. And operation of this Tkinter, like we have to import the Tkinter model. We know that first we need to import by using the Tkinter as TK, that is the import module. And then we need to initialize the Windows widgets manager and rename that GUI. We can also rename that GUI, like the whole window will displays that initially it will displays like TK. We can also rename that and define the label widgets, and then geometry manage using the pack or something else, and then main loop. So geometry manager. So this is another important role. The widgets are like only we can type the informations like my name and genders and selection of boxes and scroll bar and something else like this for designing purpose. And for picking the perfect size of your window, and like this is the geometry level of a window, no? Then we can go with this geometry manager. So there are three managers over there. The first manager is like path method, grid, and this is the place method. When you are going for the pack, this is the pack method. The like widget.pack, we have to call by widget.pack. And here these are the options. We can fill, side, right, expand. These are the four options we can use inside this pack method. See, when you are expanding that, the widget size will be expand and fill the colors of the whole box. And this is the side, moving left, right, top, right corner, all those things like top, bottom. And this is a grid. When you are making in like boxes, like multiple boxes, like rows and columns, then we can go with the grid format. Okay. And these are all like the users can modify their they can cook by their own wish how they want to display their own window. Okay. And this grid method is with like columns and rows. Okay. And the column span will show you the size of the column, like which is quartered from top or out, bottom or else. And this is the ipad x is the size of that single grid. Pad x is also the size of that inner part of that code. Okay. So it should looks like this, like frame, and this is the label. And this see here, when I'm calling the when I'm using the widget called as in a frame, then for that frame I've used the grid row one and column J, like row one in a column J. So I can fixing this frame in a somewhat like in a grid pack. And this is the another label with the pack method. And like grid and pack, we can also use a place, like place where we are placing the text, like labels. If you are using some labels or text button, where it should be placed, like it's an anchor, northeast or west, like exact location of your window, application window. And this is the next is a border mode, like inside or outside, and height and real height and width and real x and y and x and y axis, horizontal or vertical offset of your pixels. Okay. And these are the diamonds, colors, fonts, and anchor real life relief styles and bitmaps and cursors. And this is a label widgets example program for the label widgets. So when I'm using that, importing a method, after that I have to use a tk.label. And here I'm using the message, some messages I have used. So this is an example program. See here, I've used a message as a, like importing the tkinter as tk. Then I'm creating the root function, that I'm using a label, and this is a text called as in a hello method. And I have used grid. I didn't use inside the grid. I did not paste anything. See here, grid. I can use a column inside this grid as argument. I can pass the column, rows and columns and all those size and iPad, iPad X and iPad Y. So as of now, I didn't pass anything. In future, we will check it out. What is the like grids arguments can be passed inside the program. This is a very simple program, hello world program, by using a Tkinter. Okay. And this is the button. See here, we have used one button called as a quit button, like previously we saw with the stop. When I'm selecting this quit button, it will destroy the whole window. And here it is a button which is which widgets with a, like click me to show with another message, like a command box. This is a command box. See here, this is the syntax. When I'm clicking this text, like click me, like or fire me, it will open with another window, like another window GUI demo with a demo button. Okay. And when I'm clicking the hello, it will display like this. And this is the widgets, which is like master, active, background, bg, command, font, image, widget, width and height, and all those things can be used inside the widgets with a button. Likewise, for frames and for label and for entry, for every widgets we can use our own like own manipulated size of your all the labels and other widgets. And this is the message box, which is source here. When I'm typing the welcome and fire me, then it will show the message box. We can see here commands of message box. And this is the canvas. It's a master canvas for the options as and values. See, this is an example program for the canvas. Here I have used canvas as width and height. Then I have used a pack method here. It is like this is a canvas height and width is 200 length, and with here I have created the canvas as an created arc line, and then this is the line or arc with coordination start 0 and like extends till 150 and fill it in the red color. Okay. And this is the check button. See multiple choice of a check button. See here we have used a function for the check button. This is the function def test, and here when it is one and when it is one, like get one, it is selected, it is set to 0, like it is another it is a female for the set to 0. Likewise radio button, so we have to set it is 1 2 3, and we have to call it is red, blue and black. When I'm selecting this red, if it is 1, like yes, that is yes, true or false, then it is red color, then it is blue color. When I'm selecting the blue, it is blue color, and when I'm selecting well, 3, it is the green, it is a green color. And this is the scale, and see, you can move from left to right of that, the example program for that one. Thank you for the today's class.